First, the review. Which one of these can you solve and which ones of these can you just simplify? This one down here has no equals sign, so we're not going to be able to end up with x equals something. The best we can do with it is just to simplify. We can add our like terms. A positive 3x and a positive 5x makes 8x. And a negative 4 and a negative 10, think money, makes negative 14. That's how the answer looks when you're simplifying, when there's no equals sign. The rest of these we can do by solving. Undo what's been done to x. To undo adding 3, we subtract 3 both sides. X equals 21. This is a two-step equation. Start on the side that has the x and undo what's been done to x. To undo minusing 6, we add 6 to both sides. Now we have 5 times x. To undo timesing by 5, we do the opposite, or divide both sides by 5. So we end up with x equals 7. This icky one. Before we start to solve, we need to simplify. So we're going to distribute first. So I need to take that 3 and multiply it by both pieces. So 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. Bring down the rest of your information. Now that we've distributed, we need to add like terms. Remember, an equation is just two expressions set equal to one another. So this expression can be simplified. 6x plus 6x is 12x. Now that I have both my expressions simplified, now I can solve. Undo what's been done to x. So undo subtracting 3. The opposite of that would be adding 3. So we'll add 3 to both sides. Now I want to undo timesing by 12. So I'll divide both sides by 12. X equals negative 2. When you solve equations, you have to first simplify the expressions on each side, and then you do the solving steps. So to simplify, you start with distributive property, then you add your like terms. Then you'll start solving. Now we've been doing undo what's been done to x. We've done that. The new one that we'll learn today is you have to have your x's on one side before you can start to undo what's been done to x. So let's show a few examples. First off here, we would want to distribute. There's no distributive property. Now in each of these expressions, we would want to simplify if we can. Well, we're already simplified here. 2x plus 3 and 5x minus 9 is already simplified. Now we have to get the x's on one side or the other. And here's how you do this. This is the new piece for today. To move that 2x over to the other side, we just subtract it. 2x minus 2x is nothing, 0. So that's gone. So now we have 3 equals 5x minus 2x is 3x minus 9. Now we can solve like normal. Undo what's been done to x. So I start with x here. I want to undo minusing 9, so I'll add 9 to both sides. And then I want to undo timesing by 3. So the opposite of timesing by 3 is to divide by 3. So I get x is equal to 4. On this problem, some people ask, well, how do you know to get rid of this 2x here? Why not start with a 5x? And the answer is you can actually start with either. It doesn't matter as long as you get all your x's on one side or the other. So I'm going to show you that it'll work going the other way. So I would subtract 5x from this side and this side. So 5x minus 5x, that's 0. That's gone. So now I've got a negative 9 left on this side. Bring down the equals. 2x minus 5x. Think money. I had 2. I lost 5. Now I'm 3 in the hole. So negative 3x plus 3. Now that I've got all my x's on this side, undo what has been done to the x. So undo adding 3. That's subtract 3 for both sides. Think money. Negative 9, negative 3 makes negative 12. Now, undo timesing by negative 3. To undo timesing by negative 3, you divide by negative 3. X equals negative divided by a negative is a positive 4. So when I start this problem, the first thing I have to do is check. Is there any simplifying I can do with either one of these expressions? I have an expression here and an expression here. Can I distribute? No. Can I add like terms? No. Notice that I do have like terms, negative 4x and 2x, but since they're on opposite sides of the equal sign, I can't combine them. You only can simplify expressions on this side of the equal sign or this side of the equal sign. So then I go into my solving steps. I need x's on one side. So I either have to move this negative 4x over here or move this 2x over here. I'm going to move the negative 4x, so I add it to both sides. Plus 4x plus 4x. Negative 4x plus 4x cancels. That adds up to be 0. So you're left with a 7, 6x, 9. Now we can just solve like normal. Subtract 9 from both sides to get negative 2 is 6x. And then the last step would be to divide by 6 on both sides. So x would be that fraction. I'll reduce that fraction. It's negative 1/3. This is a good place to look back in your notes because I have it written out step by step for you. We're just going to look at a couple of, but just one of these. Let's look at this one right here. Again, there's no distributing, no adding like terms. Both of these expressions are as simple as they get. So now we need to make sure that we have x's on just one side. I have two choices here. I can get rid of my 4x, subtract 4x from both sides. I could also have subtracted 1x from both sides and moved this x over. So I get 3, that's gone, equals 5. Now what happens here? Plus x, that's the same as plus 1x. So I have 1x and negative 4x, think money, that's negative 3x. Now I need to get rid of this 5, it's a plus 5. So to undo adding 5, I subtract 5 from both sides. Negative 2 is equal to negative 3x. Now I want to undo timesing by negative 3, so I divide by negative 3 on both sides. So x is equal to negative divided by a negative is positive, so that's positive 2/3. Okay, let's add something else into the pot. We're going to combine a couple of skills that we've already done. Now we're going to throw in adding like terms too. So before we start this problem, we are going to look at each of these expressions on each side of the equal sign and see if we can simplify them. And here we can. We've got a 3x and a negative 5x. Now notice we're only looking on this side of the equal sign. So we can combine that. We can combine those to be negative 2x, then plus 4, equals 2 minus 4x. So I've added my like terms. I have a simplified expression here and a simplified expression here. Now I can go on to the solving steps. I need my x's on both sides. So I'm going to move this negative 2x over there. So to undo subtracting 2x, I can add 2x to both sides. This cancels. Negative 2x plus 2x is 0. So I get 4 equals 2 minus 2x. Now I just do my regular solving steps. I want to solve for x, so I have to undo timesing by negative 2 and undo a plus 2. So to get rid of this plus 2, I minus 2 from both sides. 4 minus 2 is 2 equals, this cancels out to be 0, negative 2x. Now I want to undo timesing by negative 2. So I divide by negative 2. X is equal to negative 1. A positive divided by a negative is a negative. So if you want to, stop the video and practice this one by yourself. So when you do this problem, the first thing you have to do is simplify. So you look at this expression, already simplified, and then this expression. Oh, we have the 5x and the 2x that can be added together. So 5x plus 2x is 7x, and then bring down your negative 4. Again, I'm just simplifying, just like we did in chapter 2. Now I need to switch to my solving steps. I need to get x's on both sides. So I'll subtract 6x from both sides. It's gone there. So I'll have 3 equals 7x minus 6x is 1x, or just x, minus 4. Then I undo what's been done to the x, so I get rid of minusing 4. The opposite of minusing 4 is adding 4. Seven equals x, or x equals 7. One more step we're going to add in here is to distribute 2. So let's skip over to this problem. I want to look at the expression on this side and the expression on this side and see if I can simplify. So first I'll distribute, then I'll add like terms. So I'm going to take that negative 4 and distribute it. So I have 3x minus 8. A negative times a negative is a positive, so that's positive 4x, or plus 4x, equals, distribute 3x minus 6 minus 4. So I've distributed. Now I'm going to add like terms on each side, so for each expression. So I've got a 3x and a 4x, so that's 7x minus 8 equals 3x minus 10. So I've simplified this expression and this expression, and now I'm going to solve. I need x's on both sides. I have x's on both sides. I should say I need to get rid of that. I need an x on just one side so I can solve for it. So I'm going to subtract 7x. 7x minus 7x, gone. Negative 8 equals 3x and negative 7x, think money, makes negative 4x minus 10. Now undo what's been done to the x. So undo minusing 10, so I'm going to add 10 to both sides. Think money, 8 in the hole, win back 10, 2 equals negative 4x, that's a 4. Undo timesing by negative 4, so I'm going to divide both sides by negative 4. X is equal to, let's see, that fraction 2/4 can reduce to 1/2. So the answer is negative 1/2.